Well, let's take you back now to eThekwini, Durban, one of the hotspots of the violence in July 2021. The city saw business losses climbing into the billions as civilians scrambled to save what they could while criminals disrupted the local economy. Karinda Jagmohan joins us now from the Palani Valley Mall in Umlazi, where several small businesses were destroyed 3 years ago. Karinda, good afternoon to you. We all saw the damage during that time. What does that mall look like today?
Certainly. Well, the mall has been built up and the shops are built up as you see around me. But of course, years later, there's still challenges to continue here and across parts of Durban as we've been visiting various business owners as well. I'm in the Ntando gas store here in Pilani Mall. And this is actually a family-owned business owned by the Mzimela family. I'm joined by the owner, Zama Mguni Mzimela, who took over from the business in 2019. Ma'am, thank you so much for your time. And for the work that you do here, if you can please take us back to 2021, your father's shop that you inherited, you see the glass all over, your assets all over. What went through your mind at that time?
At that time, I had a blackout because it was so painful to watch, you know. It was years of hard work just gone in a few minutes. Literally, I came here and there was nothing left of the shop. Yes.
Now, in the years that would follow, you tried to rebuild. Can you tell me about the challenges, where you sought help, where you got help, and just how that process unfolded?
The process was very daunting because it wasn't an easy one. And obviously it took time. The period, it was over a year that we finally got assistance from the government and other private stakeholders. So it was... Mind you, it is a family business and no one was working at home at that time. So we were all dependent on the shop. So there was no income for a year at home. So it was a very painful period, but eventually we were able to open the back shop and yeah, we've been trying. Every day has its challenges, but we've been trying and yeah.
You know, you speak about a family business, and just earlier you were telling me about how, you know, you share this with your family space. What was the reaction from, you know, other family members as you just came into the store? I think it was July 9th, and we'd already seen this place had almost close to destroyed completely.
Like at that time, like family were with us, supporting us throughout the whole ordeal, but I'm just glad that my family is very supportive and we were able to get over, you know, just pick ourselves up and reopen the shop again.
Zama, you know, 3 years later, what is your view on accountability? Do you think that there is enough? And do you think that you feel there needs to be justice for what happened to many shops, but specifically yours, something you've inherited in your family?
I don't feel like there is accountability as such because looking at the past elections that we had, people were threatening that they were going to loot again if a certain political party wasn't going to win the elections. And at that time, I was unsettled because I didn't know what was going to happen. So I feel like there wasn't any accountability to make people realize that what they did was wrong, you know. Many people, for me, it was a blessing that I was able to come back after the whole looting. But other businesses had to close down. So it's like, yeah, I don't think there has been accountability. Yes.
It's been echoed throughout the day by many community members. Now tell me, as a businesswoman, a successful businesswoman here, what is your wish? How do you want to take this forward, coming from where you've been 3 years ago?
Just for people to know that when they loot, they're destroying other people's livelihood, they're destroying people's businesses, and some homes are going to go on, they're not going to have anything to live by on. So they need to think of those things before they, you know, they take, they loot and stuff. So yeah.
Let me just end it here.
All right.
A message to the residents of Durban who maybe are just watching this 3 years later, being reminded. What is your message? Something you would have wanted to hear at that time?
I'd just like to thank all of my customers, you know, for coming back, even though it took us some while for us to regain our customers. But I'd just like to thank them, and yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much for making the time for us, Zama. We really appreciate it. Zama Mguni Mzimela, she's the owner of Ntando Gas. a critical store when you look at the previous months we had at the time of load shedding. And she says it was thanks to her customers as well as various support grants as well to be able to uplift her from what happened 3 years ago. The store, among many, had been destroyed, glass shattered as well. We were here, a franchise store owner spoke at that time about what he'd been through. He was perhaps able to rebuild much more faster than medium to small businesses, like of course this business that we see today, at least now thriving going forward. But of course, like Zama says, and many people who have spoken throughout the day have said that there needs to be more accountability. It's been 3 years. Let's see what the NPA and police have to say as well going forward.
Karinda Jagmohan live in Umlazi in KwaZulu-Natal.